For our next panel session, and the topic will be for this session is how can ICT and upskilling play a key role in holistic development for learners. So let me just call up on the stage the eminent speakers. So please put your hands together and welcome Dr. Mohuya, the Principal, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, Kolkata, West Bengal, on the stage. एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ please have Dr. Mohuya Das on the stage, please. Our session moderator and our eminent panel speaker. Along with her, I would like to welcome Dr. Gopal Pathak, Vice Chancellor, Sarla Birla University, Ranchi, Jharkhand. Zoda taliyon ke sath, please welcome Dr. Gopal Pathak on the dais. Dr. Gopal Pathak, if you're here, you're requested to please join us on the dais. So let's move on to the next name. Next, we have Professor AP Dash. I think he has still not joined us. All right. All right, so moving on to the next name, Professor B. Ghosh, the Vice Chancellor, the Neotia University, Kolkata, West Bengal. Please welcome sir on the stage with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And along with him, I would also like to welcome Mr. Govind Narayan Singh, Secretary, Mangal Memorial Trust, Gopal Narayan Singh University, Rohtas, Bihar, on the stage. एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ गोविंद सर का भी वेलकम किया जाए मंच पे. And last but not the least, I would also like to welcome Mr. Viswajeet Biswal, Zonal Head, Collegedunia, on the dais for this next panel session. So now I request Mohuya ma'am to please go ahead with your session.
Hello. A very good afternoon. After this heavy lunch, I think we will be feeling some drowsy or something like that, but the topic is very interesting. It's a demanding topic, and all of us, we have gone through the stage of pandemic. Today the topic is ICT and upskilling play a key role in holistic development of students, of learners. So, ICT, information and communication technology. The next term is upskilling, that is adding up upskill, and the holistic development, how they are related. Before starting the session, I welcome all the expert panelists in this platform, all the audience, and I hope that they will self-introduce the expert panelists of this panel.
Good afternoon. I think that it's a very sleepy season because after lunch, people are going for sleep, something like that. So we have to wake up. We have to, arrange such a way. My name is Viswajeet Ghosh. Basically, I'm a physicist. I spend my life in Jadavpur University, particularly Jadavpur is my, holy place. I explore myself because I'm a student of IIT Kharagpur, come to Jadavpur. Then now, Vice Chancellor of Neotia University. So let us see how I can project my views on that topics they have mentioned that, that ICT, application of ICT, that upskilling skills, something like that.
So good afternoon, everyone. Yes, as both of our panelists mentioned, it is one of the most difficult sessions after lunch. So everybody was feeling heavy. But as I have been told to be introduced myself, I'm Govind Narayan Singh. I'm Secretary of Gopal Narayan Singh University, which is situated at a place called Sasaram, which is in Bihar, and it is equidistance from two great cities of Varanasi and Gaya on GT Road. And we primarily we started off as a medical college in 2008, and from 2018 we are an university under Bihar Private University Act. So we have a very good day today with a lot of enriching panel discussions and very relevant topics. Today also we have a very senior academician with us. We are looking forward to be enlightened in this panel discussion as well.
Check. All right, ma'am, I'll be just taking a 2 minutes of gap. We have just joined another eminent panel speaker in this discussion. So please welcome Mr. Pravesh Dudani, the MD from Madhvi Foundation, on the stage with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Viswajeet. I belong to a company called Collegedunia.com. We are the #1 in terms of the review platform, the search engine for students and universities. So today's topic, in information and communication and technology, where our platform particularly can help students, and we can talk about how industry and institute can collaborate and can use such technology. Past several years we are keep talking about and keep implementing, but it's still, there is a lot of gap. We'll try to cover, and what I had a certain expertise and experience that we can share with our esteemed panelists, and I'm be very honored and glad to be in such a great panel. Let's see. Thank you so much.
Please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Pravesh Dudani, Managing Director of Madhvi Foundation and the founder president of Madhvi Skills University. The foundation is about 12-year-old organization into skill development and training. And the Skills University, Madhvi Skills University, located in Sikkim, it's a 2-year-old university, but a niche university which is trying to bridge the gap between the skilling and higher education. We are also an awarding body under a body called National Council of Vocational Education Training. I know a lot of eminent educationists present here, but that is a body which is an equivalent body compared to UGC, which controls all the skills education. So I would be happy to share my views in terms of how technology, how ICT is playing a very, very transformational role in the NEP implementation and making higher education more meaningful. Happy to share my thoughts, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Actually, for the last 2 years, we have gone through the pandemic, and whether it is forcefully or not, there is a shift. Paradigm shift in education and everywhere. So there is a shift also in pedagogy. We can say, we are in digital era and also in digital pedagogy. So when we are in digital pedagogy, we have to reimagine the education. So at the onset, the first point of discussion, what is the status of reimagining the education in this 21st century? So my first question to our senior panelist, sir.
Thank you, madam. I want to elaborate something. Being a teacher, I'm just like to share my experiences with all of you. You know that I am teaching since 1978 or something like that. When I was a research student, I have to survive myself by giving tuition. And I used to teach at Jadavpur Vidyapit as a physics teacher, then Jadavpur University, then Imperial College, then Cambridge, Newcastle University, University of California, Los Angeles, National University, Malaysia, Western Europe countries. I have seen the students are unique in every sense. You cannot differentiate between the student and Indian students, or an American students, or an, East Asian country students. Students are equal, and in sense. Actually, you know that we define the water in different form, right? If you ask a chemist what is water, he or she will tell that it's an oxide of hydrogen, H2O, it's a neutral oxide. If you ask a geologist what is water, he or she will tell that it is it's a fluid which covers 2/3 part of the world. If you ask a plant scientist what is water, he or she will tell it's a fundamental component of life. Without water, there should be cell division. Life could not come without water. If you ask a philosopher what is water, he or she will tell that the drops when falls on river or lake, it disappears. When it falls on the flower, it generates the honey or nectar. When it condenses on the tip of the grass, it's glitter. If you ask me, sir, what is your water? I will tell you that every drop containing the potential energy, mgh, and if you allow it to fall in a prime mover, it converted into kinetic energy. Water is a carrier of energy, because there is a mass, there is energy, and we want to convert the energy into either from potential energy to kinetic energy. Students' brain is composed of the masses with the potential energy, and teachers are acting to convert them into kinetic energy such that they can choose it in their own directions. So teachers has to do that way, that to bring the kinetic energy of the students. What way, that depends on him, whether it's a ICT technology or a normal technology, something like that. Teachers are teaching the students, not stopping their brain, but to direct them which direction you will go. So teacher has to know about the mind map. If you look at here, that why that question is coming like new normal education system. If you consider that we have an axis, 3 axes, which is measurable axis, x, y, z, length, breadth, and height. But there is another axis called the time axis. And time axis is represented by physicist ICT. I is root of -1, c is the velocity of light, and t is the time. If you multiply the velocity with time, you will get a dimension of a length. So time is an imaginary length, past is hazy, future is dark. We want to remove the darkness of the future with the light of the present. No one can predict in 2018 that the COVID will come. When the COVID has entered, entire situation has changed, right? We have to adapt the new systems. We have to go use the technology to reach to the student. But how much we have successful, that's the million-dollar questions. Whether chalk and talk is much more useful or a ICT-based technology is much more useful, that's debatable. But we have to adapt the new technology. We have to adapt the new system such that we can reach to the student with the, according to the need of the day. So my understanding that new technology is coming, we have to adapt it. We cannot bypass the new technology. We have to adapt it. But this doesn't mean that we have to forget the old technology. Old technology will help to adapt the new technology in a newer version. That should be there, and the teacher has to identify which direction or which way they have to teach the student or reach to the student. Particularly, every student has a mind map. Teachers has to know the mind map, what type of map in his mind, which direction has to go. Look at here. Initially, we have a 3-tier education system. Madam, mind me when I have finished my time. Actually, you know that if you look at our initial education system, we have a 3-tier education system. Up to class 4, called the primary education. Then up to class 11 or 12, we call the secondary education. And after that, tertiary education, or called the professional education. Primary education was essential to know about the system of the society, which was acceptable, which was not acceptable, counting system, literacy, and secondary education to liberalize the subject, and third education, tertiary education, to develop the professionalism, like BA, BSc, BTech, diploma, something like that. But the problem of the, the 3-tier education system, just, say suppose in the 12th class or 11th class, you are going to liberalize the subject. Say suppose you like, literature very much, but your parents is telling that if you go for literature, there is a less job opportunity. But if you go for engineering or medicine, you'll get a better opportunity. So, which was happening in your mind has completely be turned down, and you cannot explore yourself on your liking. You have to go according to the need of your professionalism. Now, what is happening? Then the new education system coming is a 4-tier education system. Class 5, the primary education, class 8, junior education, class 11, higher secondary education, and we have a professional education 4 years degree course. There is no postgraduate program, and we have to explore the student with a 4-year system. 1 year you have a certificate, 2 year you have a diploma, and after 4 years you have a graduate degree. So you have to go for the research. So this is the way. You know that education has been defined by 3 terms: facts and principle, inquiry and discovery, experiment and speculation. Fact, a student is going to the class. This is a fact. You know, principle, for what purpose he is going. You are inquiring what he is liking. And what you have discovered a teacher, that he is liking mathematics or physics or something like that. And if you go for final one, you know, that you make an experiment with the student and you speculate which direction students will go, what is his, goal of line and what is the mind map. So teacher has to know the mind map. Whether it is IC technology or old technology, it is immaterial if you don't know the mind map of the student. That's my views on these aspects.
Thank you, sir. As sir has told, that this is the need, and that new technology will be here, and we have to merge it with the traditional one according to the need of the student, and it is the efficiency of teacher. Now the question is, sir, you are from different state, from our a different state of West Bengal. So the point of discussion is, what is the status of ICT-enabled infrastructure in all over India? That is, how much the teacher are capable to use this tool or this technology for upscaling the students.
Yes. In previous discussion also, we saw a lot of discussion happening regarding, how our infrastructures are ready and how our human resources are ready for it. So, see, one thing we must keep in mind, as sir mentioned about new education policy. Now this, for higher education institutions, this new breed of students are going to come to your colleges or maybe in higher education for about around, in what I perceive, in 2-3 years. In 3 years, this new breed, which new education policy will creep in, they will be reaching higher education, or they will be reaching universities. Now, how we are prepared there? So whether we like it or not, one thing, see, infrastructurally, yes, places from where I belong, lot of things are wanting, without a doubt. And we have to make a balance between what kind of students we are getting in, and we have to adjust it. So it is not going to be an outright change. We cannot have, because in what input we are getting, we have to adjust according to it. But we shall be very much aware what kind of input we are going to get into our universities in next 3-4 years. So what new education, a lot of things which are being introduced. Now coding is being introduced, for example, in standard 6. Now no point those students coming into higher education and we are teaching coding again. So we have to be prepared, and it has to be continuous. So that continuity, that is a major challenge which I foresee for an higher education that is going to, we have to face in future. Accordingly, that infrastructure and all other things, that including our human resources, our human capital, has to be adjusted in that way. Because whether you like it or not, but what COVID has done, COVID has reduced, for us situated in a very remote area, that gap between urban and rural has reduced because a lot of digitalization has happened. Now every village is connected with fiber optics, almost in our part of Bihar as well. Every village is connecting. Whatever is not happening, everybody has a mobile phone. Almost every household has a mobile phone. And these days, children are very much acquainted. They are much smarter in using their smartphone than what we are even. I'm not counting myself an old generation, but still they use it more efficiently. Now, ये जिसको हम कहते हैं दो धारी तलवार है. If they start misusing that, if you are not in a position to educate them how to use it properly, then it is going to be a big problem. But there is an opportunity, that infrastructure, that skill they have developed in using that mobile phone. We as an educator, we as an education institution have to find out way how to utilize it, optimally utilize it, and use it to our best of the ability, that those, youth which are coming up are more towards nation building than in destructions.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, as most of people in the society, they are smart. Still, there are people who doesn't have any smartphone and all that related ICT equipment. But we have to adapt and we have to proceed through this technology. Now, Mr. Biswal, you are from education industry, but from different platform. Now the question is, your rating is very important. So how you will rate, or how you will rate ICT as a parameter of college rating?
College rating.
Yeah, obviously.
Hello, everyone. Ma'am, before your question, I would like to highlight few things. Since morning, we are talking about technology, communication, and information. I've recently read, I've seen the currently student attention timing has been reduced. It is 7 to 8 minutes. 7 to 8 minutes. And you have a 2 hours ka lecture.
Yeah.
And this ICT has a vital role. How we can engage student through information, through communication, through technologies. We have a lot of tools are available. Past 3 years since the pandemic hit to us, we suddenly moved to digitalization. We suddenly moved to different platform. We are still developing. Students are, although it is very connected to different world, it is reduced the skill set of teachers. Students are connecting nowadays in a different world, right? So, but still, I've seen a lot of students are not industry ready, to be very honest. While we are going for a campus and while we are recruiting students, we have seen a lot of gap between students and the industry and the education institutes. Why? Because the content they are teaching and they are putting in a communication, when they are putting in information, it is not up to the industry standard. What industry is seeking? For example, it's a simple thing when we are hired for sales role, and we just need a single skill set. The student should be presentable, but they should know about data, because current age is in data. They should know how to use Excel. Still, it is gap. The student is not aware about the data. Nowadays, there is a lot of tools for presentation. There's a Canva is a new tool where you can see a lot of templates, a lot of information you gather for making a presentation or resume. There is a new tools coming up, and people are talking about ChatGPT. It is an amazing tool. It's an amazing AI-based tool where, you can seek information. You can write any essay, anything you want to write. It can happen within a few seconds. That's how we should teach our students, search at infrastructure, search at information. I would say whatever the available technology is in the market, which is the free of cost, where the institutions are not bound towards can available such free tools. They can use it. They can introduce into their curriculum and teach student in industry ready kind of stuff. That is something which I feel. And about the rating, we do rating. We do rating through the students' feedback. So we have a platform where student can write their reviews. They can rate their college. We don't rate particularly. So student itself is the king. Itself, they can talk about their institute. That is how our platform comes in the picture. We project students what they are getting from the institute. That's what we do. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Sir is from different platform, from education, but their field is more related to vocational study. So vocational study, that is very much addressing all the knowledge domain, that cognitive, affective, psychomotor, all the knowledge they are addressing. And that is mostly skill-based, hands-on training is very much related. So how ICT is applicable to all these courses? So, sir, we are for your opinion.
Thank you. So, we have to see ICT from a very, very holistic perspective. Now, it is not the question of whether we are using ICT in skills, imparting skills or imparting education. It is a core mandatory part of the entire ecosystem of education, skilling or jobs or any sphere related to education ecosystem. And in fact, now the government is also mandating in some ways that a learning management system has to be an integral part of all the education delivery. Now, what I understand is that the new national education policy which has come up, it talks about integration of skills into higher education, right? So earlier what used to happen was that there is a theme, there is a mindset about vocational education. It ran parallelly to the higher education as an ecosystem. But now, because of the new credit framework, I'm sure many of you know that there is a new national credit framework which has been launched, which talks about credit assignment, credit transfers, horizontal mobility of the students. Somebody who has, let's say, completed a skilling program can get a lateral entry into a second year program of a graduation. There is an integration of the skills framework, national skills qualification framework into the national higher education framework. So because of this, the whole ecosystem is undergoing a big rapid change. And what is going to happen is that the whole the education delivery will become more outcome oriented, because now it is a mandate. So UGC has rolled up new guidelines of 4-year undergraduate program, which talks about a very high quality outcome based curriculum, that your entire syllabi has to be modularized in such a way that everything you can track in terms of what outcomes are being delivered or learned by the student. Now in our university, how we have structured is that the ICT powering our university management system, the learning management system, is a core integral part. We are a paperless university. So faculties design their classes beforehand, upload that into our learning management system. Then students actually takes time to review that before the class, and the classes are more interactive. And at end of the class, there is a short quiz happens within their mobile phones of the students, right? And those all class quizzes becomes integral part of their semester marks, grades, cumulative grade point averages. So, and we've been able to do this because of ICT. Without technology, without a very high quality interface of managing all this interaction between the faculty, the administrators, the students, it would not have been possible. And skilling is all about how well we are able to track the learning outcome and whether it relates to a particular occupation in the industry. Now, I can very well relate to it. I mean, I went to IIT, did my engineering, but frankly, for the entire 4 years, I was wondering what is the application of what I'm studying, frankly. And when I talk to engineering students these days, this is the same problem they face, that, okay, I mean, if they're doing mechanical engineering, what kind of jobs are available in the market? I mean, what kind of a job profile? We talk about, cloud manufacturing these days, right? I mean, does that fit into the curriculum of mechanical engineering these days? I presume that no. I mean, still it has to catch up. Now the government realizes it, and what I have seen, the good thing, there is a strong positive indication in the whole ecosystem, that now there will be integration of the industry, there will be an integration of edtech companies into higher education. So our students in hotel management, they do about 60-70% of the time in working in a hotel, not in the classroom, because they need to learn the high quality skills. We will not be able to provide a hotel management software inside our campus, what a 5-star hotel can provide. So, those are few of the approaches, and ICT, to summarize, ICT is something which is something, a mandate, and if any higher education institution is not catching up to using technology to bring transformation in education, would fall behind, in my view. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So we have listened opinion of all the panelists, expert panelists, and what we have seen that for upscaling, for attaining the 21st century learning skill, that is the cognitive skill, the digital literacy, media literacy, technological literacy, and the social skill, we need ICT. Along with that, our traditional approach and moreover the faculty determination, their experience, efficiency, that will guide our higher education system. And I am thankful to the organizer to by selecting me as the session moderator. I'm thankful to Professor B. Ghosh, a senior expert from education field. Thankful to Professor Singh and Mr. Biswal from Collegedunia, and also Mr. Pravesh from Madhvi Skill Education University. And this is an rather experiential learning, how ICT is related to different stream and different for upskilling the next generation. Thank you all. Any question from audience?
Hello. Very fundamental basic question. UGC as well as AICT, these are the two regulatory bodies. Few years back, they have started giving approval for 3 years. Presently, graduation is of 3-year course. Now some of the universities have started 4 years bachelor's course also. BVOC, Bachelor of Vocation. Earlier, NCVT and all the National Skill Foundation were not having. Now they have got the skill, BVOC, MVOC, even PhD level. My question to Madhvi Skill University, do you think that BVOC, which becomes eligible for appearing IAS examination as a normal graduate, like probationary officers for banking, will it be equivalent to BTech, MBBS, LLB, all the other bachelors? This is one part of question. Other part regarding the main thing, ICT, Information Communication Technology. It started with the computer, basic computer, long time back. In the class project of DOE, Department of Electronics, those might be aware, Computer Literacy Awareness Studies in school in the year 1984. My question is that during the COVID, many schools, many colleges, universities, they are allowed to conduct external examination online. Now the danger of that examination system, when that was over and we tried to come back to the mainstream of conducting examination, students started protesting. No, we want online examination. Somehow we felt that there is some lacuna on online, there is chances of dishonesty adopting. So whether that can be proctored at the school, college level, Because many of the organizations, including TCS, started business. TCS ION conducting one rented space, having the proctored examination. Now, not possible for everybody to hire that facilities as third party. If it is conducted online, what is the procedure for conducting the proctor examination for becoming honesty, for assessment purpose? These two parts.
Thank you, sir. Very good question.
Thank you. So that's a very pertinent question about BWalk. I have personally experienced interacting with a lot of higher education institutions is that there is a lot of confusion as to how to run a skill program within a higher education institution, within a university, within a college. See, BWalk as a scheme, UGC started. There was some incentives also given, financial incentive grants were given back in 2014, 15, 16, but later it was stopped. Now, then there was a lot of hue and cry that BWalk as a degree is not equivalent to a normal degree. Then UGC came up with a notification that BWalk as a course is equivalent to any other general degree. It's a BA, BCom, any degree. Then even the, different government commissions which conduct examinations started rolling out letters that graduates from BWalk can be considered for any, as rightly said, that it can be considered for any entrance examinations also. Now how an NCVET or UGC is viewing BWalk is that it's a skill integrated degree program. Now, there are sample curriculums available, model curriculum available, but I will talk about how our, as a skill university, creates that curriculum. Now, these curriculums have about 60% of the curriculum is actually skill oriented, which is aligned to National Skill Qualification Framework. So let's say if we are running a program, BWalk in automotive manufacturing, so the 60% of it would be related to some job roles which a candidate is actually supposed to do in a automotive manufacturing sector, right? And there are occupational standards, there are courses, there are curriculums, frameworks for these job roles which are available on government websites. There is a national qualification register where all these occupational standards are available. And any organization which is trying to create a skill-based diploma or a degree program can take out reference content and curriculum from there and create a degree program. And any university has all the freedom as an independent academic council to run their BWalk programs. So now BWalk courses or skill diploma programs will become norm going forward. So there is a lot of industry adoption also because BWalk curriculums allow that people can be on the job for the about 50-60% of the time and can earn those credits as an apprentice credits. So now there is a lot of push from government in terms of promoting apprenticeship embedded degree programs, work integrated degree programs. So they will become norms. So in Germany, there's a dual model of learning. People actually work in an industry as well as complete their education. So those will become norm in India. So that was the first part of the question. And second, again, anyone want to answer?
Second part.
Sir, your concern is very well taken. Every education institution faced this challenge during that period when online examination done. And I foresee it is going to be a kind of, there is absolutely no alternative to physical examination and physical classes. Now, there are a lot of loopholes. That is why maybe in initial phases, students were trying to get into that, we will do that. Lot of loopholes nowadays are getting upgraded and lot of loopholes are being plugged as well. But those technologies were emerging for online classes, these are at cost. And your panel, I still remember, if I remember correctly, was discussing about a divide between haves and have not. Now, those technologies and the cost which is involved in those technologies, not everybody can take it. So we, particularly coming from a place wherein we are catering to those students which are not amongst all haves, So there it is very, very difficult. And absolutely your concern is very well taken, because there is absolutely no alternative to, physical classes and physical examinations. But during that time when it happened, what was the alternative? Absolutely no alternative we had, so we have to adopt that. And over the period when, first phase happened, after that, next one, we went into few people, not mentioning the company and all, but they had found certain solutions using AIs, that movement of, but still, those things were very, costly to implement. It is not feasible everywhere. I mean, that absolutely no certain answer to that, but yes, that your concern is, and every education institution had the same concern what you raised.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely. We all of us have faced the problem during online examination, and that is another question is how online exam can it attain all the higher order thinking skill and all the knowledge domain? It's really a big question, and obviously all of us want that there should be offline exam and the traditional mode of education system. Thank you all. Any other question?
I just want to add something on it. Seriously, I mean, you are quite concerned about the exams, online exams and all. I mean, I came from the industry perspectives. When the student pass out, and then is he really implement what you teach? There's a concern. I mean, I remember in my time, Google recently introduced, and we were searching on Google and solving our problem at that moment. And our teachers like, yaar, ye Google se nahi karna hai. You need to read the book and you do it. Then gradually, my teachers has learned, and we have started open book exam. We started, you can use Google, you can use mobile phone. And that's how I believe we should adapt that, whatever the facilities we have, how we can use that facilities and teach our student, and I mean, for the exam only, how we can conduct that exam when the student can implement their learning in the industry when they move out. That's something which I believe we should think about it. I mean, I can't do it, but you people can do. Yes, thank you.
So actually, after the lunch, and there was sessions before the lunch, and after the lunch, we are in a hurry. So the panel is over, and if any further discussion, that we can do later. And I want to hand over the microphone to Ms. Ankit.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mohuya ma'am, and I request all the dignitaries to please remain on the stage. So yes, now ladies and gentlemen, it's time to felicitate our respected dignitaries, and to do the honor, I would like to welcome Mr. C.A. Mayur Zanwar on the stage, the co-founder CFO of True Scholar, with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stage, sir. And now I request you please bring the certificates to felicitate the speakers and of course the session moderator. So we will start serial wise. So please put your hands together and felicitate Mr. Pravesh Dudani, the MD of Madhvi Foundation, with a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir. So now please put your hands together for Dr. Mohuya, Principal, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, Kolkata, West Bengal, a session moderator and our eminent panel speaker as well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, please felicitate Professor B. Ghosh, Vice Chancellor, the Neotia University, Kolkata, West Bengal, with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'd request to please felicitate Mr. Govind Narayan Singh, the Secretary, Mangal Memorial Trust, Gopal Narayan Singh University, Rohtas, Bihar. जोरदार तालियों के साथ इनका भी सम्मान किया जाए. And last but not the least, of course, we have Mr. Viswajeet Biswal, the Zonal Head, Collegedunia. एक बार इनके लिए जोरदार ताली हो जाए. So now I request sir and all our respected dignitaries to please come forward for the group photo with the certificate.